Stephen Chang here, coming to you live from Simha Yoga Lab in Jersey City, New Jersey. Welcome to Basics today. Please visit my website at simhayoga.com for all the scheduling information for streaming as well as my regular classes. And then also my Venmo information, which is handle Simha Yoga Lab. And the 4-digit ID code is 8096 if required for verification. Classes are $10, and if you're having a difficult time right now, it is $5. And do the best you can, please. Please share with your friends on your social media. I am on Facebook in my business page, which is Simha Yoga with Stephen Chang, and you can take the videos after I've streamed them live. They become like videos on my files on my library, so you can always share those on your page or forward it to a friend. I'm also on YouTube now, and my YouTube channel is Simha Yoga Lab. And the quality on my YouTube videos are better because I am not reliant on streaming, which could be a little bit kind of shaky depending on the bandwidth, right? So my YouTube videos are recorded on a recorder and then uploaded. So it does take a little bit of time for the uploading, so it won't happen immediately after the streaming like my Facebook is, right? It will take a few hours. Sometimes it takes a long time, so unfortunately it will be later on in the day that those videos will get uploaded. However, they stay permanently on my YouTube page, so share, like, make some comments, and let people know that it's out there. Okay, so for those of you who are tight around the hips, you might want to elevate and sit up on a block. And for those of you working with any special conditions, please make sure that you are modifying as you need. I'll give you some pointers along the way. However, since I'm not with you, it will be difficult for you to kind of figure out what the modifications are if you're not already familiar with the yoga practice. So my recommendation is always, if you are very new to yoga practice and you have special conditions, the best thing to do is once we're out of the quarantine to go actually visit the class. You need individual attention and individual directions. Whereas here, live, in the recordings, virtually, you should still be mindful of those things and do the best you can to modify. And try not to hurt yourselves, right? It's really important for us to stay strong and healthy the best we can. Okay, sitting on top, palms face up. And with your eyes and your lips gently touching, stretch and regulate your breath by breathing only through your nose. And let your inhales even out with your exhales. Three arms together, inhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer or from the heart. Pressing the thumbs into your heart, heart back into thumbs. Lifting the heart up toward the sky. Setting your intention for yoga practice. Devoting your practice to someone or something, or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart. Chanting the mantra for purification. Purifying the space in which we practice yoga. Call and response. I will call it and repeat the response with you. Om Apavitraha, Om Apavitraha, Pavitrawa, Pavitrawa, Sarva Vushtan, Gatopi wa, Yaha Smarit, Budrikaksham, Sapahya, Bihyendraha, Suchihi. Beginning to open the eyes and let the palms face up. Fingers come back together, mudra. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right ear to the right shoulder, right hand to the left side, elongating through the left side of the neck. Take the chin toward the right shoulder. Release back to center, drop the right hand. Left ear to the left shoulder, left hand to the right side. Chin toward the left shoulder. Release back to center, drop left hand, chin toward the chest. Big circles with the head in one direction, ear to one side, roll it back. Opposite side, roll the center. Take a few more rounds at your own pace. Chin back to center and pause. Take in the opposite direction. And back to center again. Lift the chin parallel to the floor and neutral spine. Coming off your blocks, extend the legs forward, separating the feet. Hands to support to either side and turn your toes toward each other. And then roll out, draw in, roll out, draw in. Take outer rotation, circling the ankles. Back to center, switch them around. Back to center again, cross your shins, opposite shin on top. So this is your non-dominant crossing of the legs. So oftentimes when we perform a function, right, we almost always do something on the dominant side. So by taking the non-dominant side on top, you're creating symmetry within the body. So you keep repeating the same pattern every time, right? So you're actually creating asymmetry. But half the time, if you switch and go to the non-dominant side, you start to bring your body back into symmetry. So you might feel, if you took the cross leg on the non-dominant side for the first time, or maybe you don't do it that often, you might feel that one side is way tighter than the other, right? So that is your non-dominant side. So compare the difference. All right, so raise the arms up high, extend, twist to the right. Back to center, arms up. Twist to your left. Center again. Side bends. Right hand down. Left arm overhead. Take it back up. Other side. Back up again. Legs forward. Forward fold. Reach for your feet, your ankles, or your shins, right? Over beside you. Do the best you can to maintain lengthiness of the spine. So if you're very tight in your lower back, you tend to round a lot, right? There are several options. You can always take the hands to support first. Connect to that lengthiness. You can use your hands to press down to give you some support so that you can maintain that lengthiness and hinge at the hips to draw forward. Right? So with that resistance, you might be better able to lift the chest and keep that lengthiness, right? And then if you get to a point where you can start to reach forward, you can grab your shins and then maintain that lengthiness to draw forward. And then maybe eventually to grab your feet. Now that is difficult. You can always bend at the knees. Keep your feet flexed so your legs are engaged. Same thing. Sit up tall, lengthen. Press into your hands to draw forward. Once you have a deep enough forward fold that you feel the sensation of a stretch to your lower back, then you can take your hands to grab your shins. With that support, re-lengthen, because chances are you've already rounded a little bit. So re-lengthen and pull against your shins to draw the heart center forward, right? So any forward fold, the key point is not to round the spine, but instead to keep it lifted, maintain that lift, and hinge forward, right? So same thing here. Right? So you do not want to. Right? So this really is not doing anything beneficial for you, right? It's just rounding your back, right? What your spine does. Lengthiness. Support. Keep that lengthiness. Hinge at the hips. Keep supporting to draw forward, right? So now, if you maintain this lengthiness to take it forward, you're going to actually feel that lower back stretch. And that is what we want. All right, let's come back up. Bend at the knees. Take the feet back behind you. Let's come onto your hands and your knees. So in your hands and your knees, your shoulders are directly over your wrist, vertical line. Your hands are about shoulders width. Your fingers are wide spread, and you're pointing your middle finger straight forward. Your knees are about hips width distance. Line up the hips over your knees. So you're on all fours at this time. Tuck the toes under for additional support. Let's take some cat cows. Take the navel to draw down as you raise your tail, raise the back of the head. So now you're arching your spine, which is a back bend. Taking the opposite on the exhale, round the spine, dome the middle of the back up toward the sky, chin toward the chest. And feel that your tailbone is reaching toward the heels, and that will give you a stretch of the lower back as well. So this is your rounding of the spine. This is a forward bend. All right, let's take it again. Inhale. Drop the navel, raise your tail, raise the back of the head. This is your cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, middle of the back up toward the sky, chin toward the chest. This is your cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. 2 more times. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to neutral spine. Pick up the left knee. Open up the left knee to the side and pendulate it back to center 3 times. Open out to left side. Pendulate it back to center. Open left. Back to center. Then this time, reach your left heel straight back. Draw the left knee in toward the nose and round the spine. Kick the left heel straight back. Draw the left knee in toward the nose and round the spine. 1 more. Kick it back. Draw the left knee in. Release your left knee back down. Reset. Make sure you're nice and stable. Then pick up the right knee. Open up the knee to right side. Pendulate it back to center. Open to the right. Pendulate back to center. Open right. Back to center. Stay here hovering. Kick the right heel back. Draw the right knee toward the nose as you round. Kick the right heel back and left. Right knee in toward the nose and round. 1 more time. Kick it back. Right knee in. Release the right knee back down. Walk your hands forward by about 1 handprint. Again, realign your middle fingers to point straight forward. Press strongly into your fingertips, finger knuckles, and the pads of the hands. And even though your wrists are supporting, you want to be as light through your wrists as possible. You want the fingers and the pads of the hands to do a lot of the work so that you're not over-pressurizing your wrists. All right, so from here, the crease of the elbows, roll them forward to face forward. Then when you bend your elbows, they draw back in space and lower almost all the way down, so you're still hovering. And then lengthen it back up. Bend the elbows to draw back in space. Lengthen it back out. 1 more time. Draw the elbows back, back in space. Lengthen it back up. Walk your hands back in again. Hands and knees. Reach the left heel back. Tuck the left toes under. Once you have the support of the toe mounds, reach through the heel back. So now get a very nice left calf stretch. Shift it back forward, back to neutral position. Pick up the left foot. Reach the right arm forward. Now keep the gaze looking to the floor slightly ahead of you, and that will help you to balance. So the right fingertips are reaching forward, left heel is reaching back. Then bend your left knee if you can. Reach for your left foot with your right hand and kick your foot up and back. Now, if you're not able to bind in this way, right? It's too far for you. You don't have the flexibility to bend the left knee that much. Then that's okay. Come back to this balancing position with the right arm forward, left leg back. All right, let's break. Step back down. Hands and knees. Remeasure hands and knees. Then reach your right foot back, tuck the toes under. And through the support of the toe mounts, then reach your right heel back strongly. So you're now getting a very nice right calf stretch. Release that action, pick up the right foot, reach your right heel back, and the left arm forward. So reaching in opposite directions, left fingertips forward, right heel back. All right, so stay here if you're not able to bind. Otherwise, bend your right knee, reach back with your left hand, grab the foot, and you want to kick up and lift. All right, so if you're not able to bind, left arm forward, right heel back. Release, take it back to hands and knees. This time, I'll give you a front view of what we're doing. All right, so hands and knees. Walk the hands forward, about one handprint. All right, so normally, once you set your hands, notice the crease of the elbows. That generally, when you have it in a much more relaxed state, the crease of the elbows face each other. Notice that when you bend your elbows, the elbows go outwardly. Notice the pressure into the outer edges of your wrists. That is not good. This is not going to be productive for you, and if you keep repeating this pattern, you're going to hurt your wrists. So that is what we want to avoid. So how do you correct this, right? Because your elbows are a joint, and they go only really in one direction, which is this way. So to fix that, or to alter that, you want to go from the shoulder joint and rotate the crease of the elbows forward. So when you take that, you have to press strongly into your thumbs and your index fingers to stabilize. Then roll the eyes of the elbows or the creases of the elbows forward. So now when you bend, the elbows draw back. And notice how your wrists are neutral on the inside and the outside of the wrist, right? On either side of your wrist. When you bend and lengthen, they are neutral. That is what we want. Now your wrist joints are working correctly, safely, so are your elbow joints, right? So let's take that 3 times together. Stabilizing your hands, your middle fingers point straight forward. Roll the crease of the elbows forward. Bend the elbows to lower almost all the way down, working your triceps, and then lifting back up 3 times. Bend the elbows to draw the arms back. And lift back up 1 more time. Bend the elbows to draw back. Lift back up. Come back to a much more relaxed state with your arms. And then walk your hands slightly back. And then lift knees for down dog. Pedal out the legs. Start to walk your feet forward toward your hands. Right, toward the front of the mat. Separate your feet. This time, let's take 2 fist distance. So this is actually wider than hip width. Hip width really is 1 fist. Okay? Once you have that, keep a slight bending of the knees, and then grab opposite elbows and just dangle the way forward. Feel the spreading of the lower back, right? The lengthening of the lower back. Let the head release. Maybe your belly is even making contact to the top of the thighs, supporting your torso. Alright, so notice how the spine is released and in a rounded, very relaxed state. I prefer, when we come up to a standing position, that we engage the spine and the muscles around the spine. So rather than rolling up, which I think sometimes could be kind of vulnerable. I want you to engage the muscles around the spine to come up more safely. So now release your hands to the floor, your knees are bent. So I want you to think about supporting with your hands and lift the head and the upper back. Notice when you lift the head and the upper back, now you're engaging the muscles around the mid and the lower back, which gives you a lot more support. So that now when you come up to a standing position, keep the knees bent, shift the weight back toward your heels. So now you've lightened the load to the front bodies. When you lift the upper back, and then lengthen out the legs, use the strength of the legs to come up, it's a lot safer because you're already supporting the spine, supporting your lower back through that engagement, right? Whereas, if you round, right, like this, sometimes your muscles get very disengaged when you roll up in that way, and I feel, whenever I do that, I don't like it. I always feel like when I roll up this way, I'm going to cramp my mid and upper back, right? So when, you know, I never really liked it when I took classes and people say, oh, round the spine and roll up, right? I always feel very vulnerable. Until I started taking some back heel classes and I learned this kind of technique, right? So if you ever throw out your back, and you cannot roll up, that is the same concept. Because when you disengage and you roll up this way, it is a very vulnerable state that you're in. If you use the support of your limbs and you engage this way, and you use your legs to lift your torso instead of your lower back to lift your torso, it is so much safer. Right? So this is some of the work that I've learned through some back heel classes, and when your back is out and you cannot use your lower back, that's when you realize that some of the functional things that we do normally is really not as supportive as we think they are. Because we can do it, right? It's no problem. But when you can't do it, it's when you realize, oh my God, I really depend on my lower back to do all these things, right? So make sure that especially if you're taking my classes, I prefer, highly prefer, if you take this technique instead. Support with your hands, bend your knees, lengthen by lifting the head and the upper back, so you're much more in a neutral spine. Then shift the weight back as you lift to use the strength of the legs to carry you up. Even though you're using your back a little bit, you're using way less of your lower back than your legs, right? All right, so let's come to the front of the mat. Hands together in prayer. Interlace your fingers, press your palms forward. Raise your arms up, take a slight back bend. Come back to neutral, releasing your hands, bend your knees. Draw the seat back. Now, look down past your knees. If your knees are really far, then you kind of feel like your heels are lifted and it's too much weight to the fronts of the feet. You want to shift the weight slightly back in space. So now you're pressing toward the heels. And when you draw the knees back, you even out and level out the weight between the fronts and the backs of the feet. Now you're utilizing the feet. You should also then be able to see your toes. So by now, right, you're holding this chair pose. Your quads are beginning to fire up. And that's what we're looking for. The strength of the legs with the weight slightly back. So now you're much more evenly distributed between the fronts and the backs of the feet. Arms forward. All right, let's come back up to vertical, standing. Take the hands together in prayer. Interlace with the other thumb on top. Press your palms forward again. Reach up and slightly back with a back bend. Come back to neutral, releasing your hands, bend your knees, come back to chair again. So look down, past your knees, make sure you can see your toes by shifting the weight back. Now notice, the torso, depending on your flexibility, you might be rounded. We do not want a rounded chair. We want the upper back to be lifted. Now, the upper back lifting, you can take it at a deeper angle like this, or you can take it more vertically and add a deeper back bend. Right? So you're angling forward, it's much more of a neutral spine, and your legs are very engaged here, right? Still. Your legs stay engaged, even if you take it to a much more vertical position by adding a back bend, right? All right, come all the way up, lengthen, hands together in prayer. Stepping on the left foot, pick up the right knee. Keeping your hands together in prayer for balance. Open up the knee to right side. Draw back to center. 2 more times. Open to the right. Back to center. Open to the right. Back to center. Open to right again with your right hand. Grab the inside of the right foot and pick it up and take it to the inner left leg for tree pose. Either stay higher up above the knees with your foot or below the knees, right? If your hips are tight and your balance is kind of weak, it's going to be easier to take it below the knee. Raise your arms up and out. So this is your tree pose. Right? So we're standing on this left leg. So notice that when we're opening up the knee, forward and back, side to side, right? That is balance and movement. Whereas now we're looking for balance with more stillness. Even though we're trying to balance here, we're still moving a little bit, right? So there's a huge comparison between opening up the knee side to side or coming to stillness in this tree. Right? So balance is not only about stillness and how still can you be here, right? It's also can you balance, maintain your pose, and still move. All right, take it back to center. Right knee comes forward, step the right foot down, release, and walk it out side to side. All right, come back. Bend your knees, chair, stepping on the right foot, pick up the left knee. Hands together in prayer. Steady your balance here. Open up the knee to the side. Take it back to center, right? So movement and balance. Open to the side, back to center. Open to side, back to center. Open out to side again and stay there. Reach with your left hand to grab the foot. Take it to inner right leg. Above the knee joint if you can manage it. Below the knee joint if it's too difficult, right? And raise the arms up and out. This is your tree pose. So now you're more or less in stillness. Now to really stabilize this pose, you want to press your left foot strongly against the inner right leg, the inner right leg back into your left foot. So the two squeezing toward each other really helps you stabilize. This is particularly the reason why you do not want your foot directly on the knee joint. Because if you're applying that kind of pressure directly onto the knee joint, it could be kind of injurious, right? So go above the knee joint or below the knee joint. Then you're safe to press strongly. Alright, take it back to center, arms up, left knee forward, step the left foot down, and walk it out, side to side. Alright, join the front of the mat again. Inhale, raise the arms, forward and up into slight back bend. Slight bending of the knees. Exhale, dive forward. Hands to the floor for support. And step the right foot back, ground the back heel down. This is your warrior one. Take the arms up high. Back heel grounding down, full extension of the back leg for support. Left knee lunging forward to be directly over the heel, vertical line with the shin. The toes are pointing forward, which means the inside of the foot is parallel to the side of the mat, right? So, this is your warrior one, fully supported. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. So the leg remains strong, the front knee over the heel. Now this time your torso is rotated to the right side. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Left arm up and back as you support the right hand to right leg. Side angle. Left arm to top left leg if you're less flexible and need to modify. Or the left hand directly to the floor if you're more flexible, right arm up. Right, so notice that we modify it. When the torso is a little higher up and you have your arms supporting here, it is a lot easier for your lower back and your hips. Now try to keep a straight spine here, right? Take it back up. Warrior two. Hands to the floor. Left foot stepping back and lower all the way down to the belly. Keep the hands alongside the rib cage. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Elbows drop back. Your belly and your lower ribs are making contact to the floor. Gaze is slightly to the floor and crown of head reaching forward. So you want the back of the neck to remain relatively long. Press into your hands. Lift up a little higher. There's your midway into a cobra pose. So your belly and your lower ribs are working away from the floor. Press with your hands, lift up higher. This is your full cobra. So your belly completely away from the floor, your hands supporting. If you still need to bend your elbows a little bit, go ahead. Right? So all of this is based on your range of motion. Maybe you're just actually down here. That's all you can do. That is fine. One more breath. Bend the elbows, lower all the way down. And very slowly, take it back to child's pose. So you're going to lift the seat, draw the seat toward the heels, and then fold forward to stretch your lower back. Keep your hands supporting. Let the forehead come down toward the mat. Alright, take back to down dog. Step, lower right foot forward, low lunge, left foot forward, standing forward bend. Alright, so again, separating your feet, 2 fist distance. Hands are supporting, bend the knees a little bit. This time, when you grab opposite elbows, if you can figure out what your non-dominant side is. Alright, so if you don't know what that is, without thinking, just grab opposite elbows. That's your dominant side. What you're going to do is switch the other arm on top. And I guarantee you, you're going to be very confused. There you go. Right? Even sometimes when I do it, I have to take it several times to figure out what my non-dominant side is. But if you did that correctly, it should feel a little bit awkward and a little bit less comfortable and flexible as the first side. Alright, again, I'll give you a side view here to come out safely out of your forward fold. So, from your forward fold, release your hands to the floor. Alright, notice now your spine is relatively grounded. So I want you to press your hands to the floor strongly to support as you lift the back of the head and the upper back. So notice right away, the mid and the lower back a little bit more engaged to support the rest of the torso, right? Shift your weight back toward your heels. Now you're going to feel like the front bodies are a little bit lighter. Keep that lengthiness. Think about lifting the upper back through the strength of the legs. So that now, when you come up, it is mostly the quads, which are a much stronger muscle group than your lower back in that sense, right? To pick up the weight of the body. Alright? Give your front view again. Balancing. Alright. Stepping on the left foot. Bend the knees. Come back to chair. Stepping on the left foot. Pick up the right knee. Right hand to right knee. Left hand to left hip. Standing tall. Open up the knee to right side. Keep your right hand supporting to right leg. Right knee. Once you steady your balance, if you want to challenge your balance, look to your left. Alright, so notice, for those of you who are doing this for the first time, or maybe this is still shaky, the huge difference between looking forwards and down and looking off to the side. Alright, let's take the gaze back to center. Let's take one more test. Looking downwards first and steady your balance. Once you have that, change the gaze from looking down to looking up. And notice how that much, there is a big difference between the two. And then look down again to steady your balance. Draw back to center, release your right foot, walk it out side to side. So that's why whenever you're taking a balancing pose, it is always easier to look forwards and downwards versus looking sideways or behind you and upwards. Okay? So forwards and downwards will always be easier. Alright, so I'll give you a preview here. Half moon. Looking down to the floor will be a lot easier than looking up. Okay? Alright, second side. Feet together, knees together. Bend the knees, take it up to chair. Stepping on the right foot, pick up the left knee. Left hand to left knee. Right hand to right hip, and open up the knee to the side. So first, looking down to steady your balance. Once you have that, look over to the right side. And so if your balance is pretty strong, that might have been easy, very little difference, right? But if your balance is not very strong, you're going to feel a lot shakier. Alright, let's take the gaze back forward to the floor ahead of you. Steady your balance. And then look upwards. And see how that changes. Alright, take the gaze to look back down to the floor to rebalance. Square off, release. Step the left foot down and walk it out side to side. Alright, come back to the front of the mat, feet together, knees together. Inhale, reach your hands forward and up, slight back bend. Exhale, bending at the knees, draw forward, hands to the floor for support. And step the left foot all the way back. Right, so you're already looking for alignment. Grounding the back heel down, full extension of the leg. Lunging the front knee far enough forward so that the right knee lines up over the heel. And then rise up to warrior one. So back leg supported, right toes pointing forward, which means the side of the foot is parallel to the side of the mat. Right knee over the right heel, strong legs. This is your warrior one, squaring forward. Open it up for warrior two. Arms are parallel, reaching in opposite directions. The positioning of the feet and the legs do not change. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle, modify. Elbow to top leg, left arm up. If you need, or if you can, take the hand to the floor directly. A little bit more flexibility required. Left arm up. Take it back up. Warrior two. Hands to the floor. Right foot stepping back. Lower all the way down to the belly. Hands alongside the rib cage. Inhale, lift up. Baby cobra. Belly and the ribs on the floor. Elbows pressing back toward each other. Press the hands down. Lift up a little higher. So belly away from the floor. Lower ribs away from the floor the best you can. Or perhaps it's just incrementally, just a little bit further away from the floor. And then lengthen out the arms all the way. Depending on your flexibility, it could be way up like this, it could be still halfway down. 3 more breaths. Right, so we're holding in a back bend here. When you come out of it into a forward bend, you have to move slowly in the opposite direction. Bending at the elbows, lower all the way down. Then apply some pressure to your hands to lift the seat. And very slowly take it to child's pose, seat toward the heels and fold. Take it back to your down dog. Pigeon, raise your left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Left knee in toward the nose. Land the shin to the floor. Notice you're in a pointed left toe position. Taking the shin down and you're balancing on the shin. Also, check that your left knee, left thigh, angles out to the side, 30 to 45 degrees away from the belly. Right? So there's only one direction that your front leg can go to be away from the belly, which is to your left. Once you have that, if you're relatively high in your seat, you're going to tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, walk it further back, lower the knee, untuck the toes. And then investigate, can you go further? If you can, tuck the toes again, go further back, lower the seat. Right? So you're still hovering. Most of us are going to be still hovering. We're not sitting down, right? Walk your hands back. You should feel your pelvis is pretty level. You should feel that your spine is relatively vertical. You might have a back bend, that's okay, but you want a vertical line. If you did this correctly, you're well balanced, You may not even need your hands, right? All right, walking your hands forward, lower your forearms down. You can make pillows with the hands if you'd like, and rest your forehead. So in your pigeon, you should not feel like you're rolling to the left side and sitting down. Right? If you're sitting down on your seat and you know you don't have the flexibility for this, then you're doing it wrong. Because then all the weight will be sitting on the outer left seat, outer left leg. There's very little tension for the stretch, and you're probably completely disengaged on the right leg, and you're just folding forward over your left leg like this with very little stretch involved, right? If you're doing it right, you should be on top of the shin. You should feel a good amount of stretch to your left glutes, and you should feel a lot of work into your left quads, left knee, left shin. If you're very softly in here and your lower back is not stretching either, then that means you're collapsed and you're not taking this pose correctly, right? So make sure that you're on top of the shins. You're feeling for the stretch of the left side, right? So depending on how high or how low you are, you might feel your lower back stretch, you may not. But there should be a lot of action through the left leg. There could be some extension through the front of the right leg, right? Because you're reaching your right toes back. All right, let's walk it back in. Lift the elbows up, walk your hands in. Tuck the back toes. The easiest way is to press into your hands and lift the left shin up and just step it back. So that's how we came into it, right? And that's how you can easily step it back. So rather than struggling and then rolling to one side and trying to get onto your shins and then walking one knee back, walking the other knee back, right? Use your hands. You are already there. Tuck the toes under. Press it right up to free up the left leg, and now it's so easy to just shift it back. All right, second side. Right leg up. Take the right knee in toward the nose. Rotate your right toes out to the left side, on the top of the shins. You're pointed in your right toes. Now notice then your right thigh, right knee, right thigh, angles out to the right side, 30 to 45 degrees. There's only one direction that your right thigh can go to avoid being underneath your belly, and that is to the right side. So take that adjustment. If you're high up on your seat, inch your left knee further back to lower your seat. Walk your hands back and lift the torso, and hopefully you're feeling pretty level here, right? And then you balance. Now, some of you may not have a lot of hip and lower back flexibility. You might still be leaning forward. That is okay, as long as you don't feel like you're sitting to one side. Right? So I'll give you a back view this time. Right? If you're doing it right, you're not actually sitting down, unless you're very flexible, like ballerina flexible, contortionist flexible, right? Otherwise, most of us are going to be slightly elevated. But you do want your pelvis to be level. And to help you to find this levelness, you angle out the right knee, right thigh, out to side, 30 to 45 degrees, which gives you a triangle that you're balancing on. Right? Notice, if I did not do that, and I took a knee directly aligned with the hip, if you're not very strong in balancing here, you're going to sit to one side. This is what I'm talking about. If you're sitting to one side, notice my left side is elevated, my right side is descended, right? And if I fold forward this way, right, it's going to be very hard to engage my legs, so you end up disengaging. So you're just folding like this. What are you doing? Really nothing, right? So you're not getting any tension, really, to give you the stretch of the knee. So this is completely wrong, right? Unless you're modifying because something is going on structurally with your joints, with your hips. But you want to take the shape to some degree, but you want to go slow and you want to go easy. Then I'll make a slight exception where you want to take a similar shape, but you're not going into the full engagement. Then maybe I'll take an exception with that, right? But there are other ways to modify for that as well, if you have knee issues, right? And I'll show that to you as well. But what I don't want for you to think that this is the correct pigeon. This is absolutely not the correct pigeon. This, with the pelvis level, spine straight, coming forward. This is the correct pigeon. Notice I'm not sitting down. My pelvis is level. My spine is relatively straight going forward. Right? Now, let's say you have knee issues and it doesn't feel good for you to take the knee and put any pressure this way. The way to modify it is to take that pigeon and flip it upside down. Notice that this is the pigeon flipped upside down. This way, you can still bend the knee and go into the hips, right? Without putting pressure onto the knee. This is how you modify, right? Look at how much range of motion I can go into my hip without impacting my knee, right? All of these angles are hip openers. Right? So keep that in mind. If you have any specific knee injuries and you cannot put pressure on the knees, you flip it upside down and you lay on your back for the pigeon pose. Right? Otherwise, really try to go for the correct posturing of this pose. Otherwise, you're not really getting the benefits. Alright, let's pray. Walk your hands back in. Tuck the back toes. Press into your hands. Lift the right shin off the floor and step it back for your down dog. Walking it out side to side. Alright, walking your feet forward toward your hands and take the seat down. Seated spinal twist. If your hips are tight, keep the left leg extended. Flex your left foot so you engage with the leg and grounding down. Pick up the right foot, step it over the left leg. Try to keep the foot flat. You want to ground evenly through your seat and sit up tall. Right hand behind you for support. Elongate through the spine, left arm up and twist to the right. Hook the left arm to top of the right leg. If that's not possible for you, this is tight and it forces you to round your spine, then you can modify that by wrapping the arm around the shin instead. Sit up tall and twist. If even that is difficult, then lengthen the arm essentially by taking the hand to the shin, right, or to the knee. And that way, you don't even have to reach forward and round. You can just sit up tall and twist. Right? So you want to ground evenly through your seat with a vertical spine as you rotate through that central axis. You want the legs to support. Now let's say if having the foot to the outside of the left leg is still difficult for you, right? You can step the foot to the inside of the leg. Make sure you ground that foot down. So now you have to ground the left leg for support. You have to ground the right foot for support. So you can still take the shape of your seated spinal twist here. Right? So it's about modifying the pose, whatever it is, to customize to your body. Alright, square back, keep the legs as they are, and counter twist to your left. Square back to center, second side. Right leg extended, I'll give you a front view this time. Right leg extended, flex your foot so you're grounding the right leg strongly to the floor. Hands are supporting. And step the left foot over and ground the left foot as well. Do the best you can. If this is not possible, go to the inside of the left leg. Of the right leg. Then, left hand behind you for support. Inhale, lengthen the spine and reach the right arm up. Rotating at the spine if you can. Hook the right arm to top of the right leg, left leg. So it could be an elbow to the left leg. If that is difficult and it's forcing you to round, then you can change that to wrap the arm around the left knee. If even that is making you round, then take the hand. Right? And then loosen up the arm. Give yourself some space so you can sit up tall and then rotate from there. And I'll give you that final modification to the inside of the leg. And the essential part of this pose is the lengthiness of the spine. We do not want it to be leaned back. We do not want it to be rounded forward for the twist. We want a vertical line. Take it back to center. Keep the legs as they are. Counter twist to the right. Take it back to center. Give your front view again. Extend the left leg forward. Left leg forward. Sole the right foot and your left leg. Left hand to the floor. Inhale, raise your right arm up. Also, if your hips are tight and your right knee cannot press down to the floor for stability, if you have a blanket or a block, you can wedge that in. So now you can press down firmly against a structure to give you that stability. So you want the left leg to be pressing down for stability. You want the outer right leg to be pressing down for stability. Left hand to the floor for support. Right arm up. Again, lengthen this. Rotate to the right on the exhale slightly. And then reach forward to grab the inside of the left foot with your right hand. Alright, so the slight rotation to the left is to line up the torso over your left leg. So you're not rotating way to the side, right? Just slightly. Lengthiness of the spine, so you're probably rounded already. Lengthiness of the spine, then hinge forward at the hips. Right? So at the beginning of class, we talked about when you take the forward fold, if you just round the spine, there's very little benefit that's happening. You want lengthiness. And then with that lengthiness, hinge at the hips to draw forward. And that will give you the lower back stretch you're looking for to create that flexibility. Right? So you want that tension for extension. Take it back up, keep the legs as they are, twist to the right. Back to center again, switch legs. Right leg forward, sole of the left foot to inner right thigh, wedge something if you need. Right hand to the floor. Left arm is up, inhale. Slightly rotate to the right. Keep that lengthiness of the spine, hinge at the hips, draw forward. Once you hit your mat, stay there. Your arm can move now, right? From your shoulders. You can grab the foot, your ankles or your shins, whatever you can hold on to. Re-lengthen your spine because chances are you've already rounded. And then reach forward through the heart center, reaching forward for the lower back stretch. Release, come back up, counter twist to your left. Back to center again, extend both legs forward. So just as you were coming up, now coming down. Hands to either side. So again, this is something I learned from back here. If you throw up your back, remember, if you've ever thrown up your back, notice how reclining back was so difficult, right? Because you can't engage your lower back to release down. So how do you do it? You take your hands to either side. This is only if you can do on the floor, right? If you're on your bed, it's a whole different thing as well, right? So hands to either side, supporting. So as you slide the hands out, your arms are actually taking a lot of the work away from your lower back. Take it all the way down. So this is a very safe way to do it. Keep the left arm up, draw the left knee in, twisting to the right. Take it back to center. Switch legs, switch arms, twist to your left. So when you twist, you want to keep your right arm, right shoulder blade flat. You want to roll to the outside of the left leg, left arm, left leg, left hip. Rotating at the spine. Back to center again, hugging both knees in. Take the body back into left to right symmetry. And step the feet to the floor. Slide the legs forward, let the toes gently turn out. Arms alongside the body, palms face up. Let the arms release, let the shoulders release, let the head release. Breath is gentle. floor supporting, shavasana, final relaxation, let it all go. Start to reconnect to your breath, moving your fingers and your toes. Reach the arms overhead, stretching in opposite directions. Rolling over to the right side and come up to a comfortable cross-legged position. Even seat, a lengthy spine. Let the shoulders be broad, breath deep, and let the neck be free. Inhale from hands together in prayer. Bowing forward, sealing the practice. Inhale, come up. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing the practice with me today. Please visit again my website, simhayoga.com, for the schedule of live streams, as well as my Venmo information, which is handled Simha Yoga Lab, and if required for a 4-digit ID number is 8096. Please share with your friends the information about my classes. If you're on Facebook and streaming through Facebook, in Facebook the streams become a video and I leave it on there for a few days. Please share with your friends, forward it on social media like Facebook. If you're also not working on my schedule and you're watching these things, these videos, you can also go to YouTube, right? Simha Yoga Lab is my YouTube channel, and the videos stay there permanently, and so you have a wide selection of classes on there. So you can practice at your own time, okay? So again, classes are $10 and $5 if you have a difficult time right now. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day, and please stay safe and be well. See you soon.